Thank you, Minister Farrell. Senator Grogan.
Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Communications, Senator McAllister. The NBN is a piece of critical infrastructure designed to provide reliable and affordable internet across the country. How does the NBN assist in supporting all Australians regardless of where they live?
Thank you, Senator Grogan. Minister McAllister.
Question.
Thank you, President, and I thank Senator Grogan for her question.
Order.
You are. That's your plan.
Please continue.
I'd like to and I want to congratulate Senator Grogan for her tireless support.
Minister McAllister, please resume your seat. It is a shame that I have to remind senators to listen in silence to the response from the minister. Please continue, Minister.
Thanks, President. I do want to congratulate Senator Grogan for her tireless support in levelling the playing field for regional Australians, because we know how important it is to have fast, reliable and affordable broadband for all Australians, but particularly those Australians that live in regional Australia, because the NBN allows Australians to work remotely and run their businesses more productively. Thinking about people like Brant and Angie Bettridge, whose Mount Wilga cattle farm operates some 550 kilometres west of Rockhampton in regional Queensland. And before Brant and Angie connected to the NBN, they had little to no mobile service or internet connection and would record all their cattle numbers with a notebook and pencil. Connecting to the NBN has meant that Angie and Brant can now run their banking, their payroll and their admin over the internet. And as Angie said, we wouldn't be able to run our farm today without the NBN. It's as simple as that. Gone are the days of the notebook and the pencil. So this government is supporting families and businesses like Brant and Angie's right across Australia. 8.6 million active premises already connected to the NBN, with over 12.4 million ready to connect. Now, our fixed wireless upgrades are on track for completion by the end of the year, with 2,300 towers upgraded. It means faster speeds, it means less network faults, and this week we have introduced legislation to ensure that this critical infrastructure asset remains publicly owned, as it should be, Senator Grogan. I am sure you will agree.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Grogan, first supplementary.
That's excellent, excellent information, Minister. Thank you so much. Now, we know that the Albanese Labor government's approach is different from the previous government, but can you outline for us what the emerging risks are to the NBN remaining affordable and reliable for all Australians?
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Grogan. Minister McAllister.
Thank you, President. And again, I thank Senator Grogan for her supplementary question, because it really took less than 24 hours for the opposition to show Australians why they can't trust them with our publicly owned assets. So Senator Hume was first out of the gate. She was first out of the gate saying it was always the plan that the NBN would be privatised. And when asked, and she was asked whether she would support the legislation to keep the NBN in public hands, and she refused.
Please resume your seat. Order on my left. Order. Senator Watts. Order. Senator Hume, when you've finished. Senator Hume. Minister McAllister, please continue.
Well, that's right. So Senator Hume was asked to confirm her position. Would she support legislation to not sell the NBN, and to refuse, saying it wasn't that simple. And then we had another Liberal member. Backing in Senator Hume, Solidarity Forever, confirming that it has always been in contemplation that the NBN would be privatised. And then lastly, we saw the Shadow Minister for Communications trying to mop it all up on our end, but he wouldn't commit to supporting our bill either.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Colbert, I'm not quite sure which part of my instruction to be silent when ministers were answering you failed to hear or follow through, but you are being disrespectful. Senator Grogan, second supplementary.
Thank you, President. We know that the NBN makes a real difference in the lives of Australians through faster, more reliable internet access. And the bill that you've referred to that's in before the parliament, can you just tell us, if that does not pass, what price will regional Australians pay, and how do we prevent that from happening?
I'm just waiting for silence. Seriously, Senator Henderson and Senator Hume and Senator Watt. If you can't listen in silence, please leave the chamber. Minister McAllister.
Well, thanks, Senator Grogan, for that question, because actually public ownership is the best way to deliver an NBN that continues to be affordable and ensures that Australians have the access to high-speed internet. Now, this is important for regional Australians who rely on the NBN to run their businesses and remain connected while living sometimes in very remote locations.
Senator Henderson, when I call your name, you're not in a debate with me and you don't call back. I've asked you respectfully to be quiet and you've completely ignored me. You are being disrespectful. Minister McAllister, please continue.
So, look, the government's bill will ensure, of course, that the NBN remains in public hands, but those opposite are refusing to support it. And you have to ask the question why. Why is that? Well, it's because we know they actually want to sell it, just like they sold Telstra. And that's the risk. That's the risk, Senator Grogan, and it's one that is reinforced by all of the comments that have been made this morning. And privatising this asset will mean that people like Angie and like Brant will be paying a higher price for a worse product. And if those opposite truly support regional Australia, they'll support our bill.
The time for answering has expired.